What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Nitro Gaming. Today is a massive day for FC25 because we seem to have everything hitting us all at once. Of course, we've got division rival rewards later tonight, early tomorrow morning, depending on your time zone. Just about 20 hours from now. I still got to get 8 more points. But this has a bigger impact on the market than we ever could have expected in FC25. Every single week, it makes the market go lower than Friday content release, than squad battle rewards, than FUT champs rewards. This has a big impact every single week. So today, Wednesday, we're expecting the market to go low because of this. But the division rival rewards are not the only thing we're worried about. In fact, it's kind of an afterthought, given the fact that today we have a squad building challenge dropping that has the entire community in a chokehold, that has everybody investing in SBC fodder, that has people panic selling icons and every single tradable item that they have in their club right now in order to complete this SBC. In just a few hours, it's going to come out, so we've got to be prepared for it. So let's get started. The menus on FC25 are laggy at best, but your gameplay doesn't need to be, because with GearUp's new anti-packet loss feature, you can get your packet loss to 0. This will get your ping to less than 100 milliseconds, and it'll even stabilize your connection if you ever wanted to switch to a different region and play against friends worldwide. And if you're on console, GearUp have you covered here as well with their gaming router Hyper EV. It's the best gaming router you can get for under $100, and they'll even throw in a couple complimentary Ethernet cables with it as well. It's an absolute must if you want to be more competitive in division rivals and weekend league, and they were even partnered with an esports team, Exceed, in FC24 with a co-branded kit which was actually in the game. If you guys want to reduce your packet loss, GearUp is the place to go, and the link will be down in the description. Last week we saw a max 87 base hero upgrade. It was a decent SBC. You needed an 85 and an 86 rated squad with a team of the week, and it got yourself, well, it's in the title, a maximum 87 base hero, which could be Yaya Toure for 1.4 million, or it could be, you know, one of the really cheap 20,000 coin cards like Lars Ricken. So it's a risk, because at 150,000 coins, that was about the average price of these hero cards you could get in return. It's not a terrible value SBC, but today, we've got this getting replaced in 6 hours. As you can see, it expires in with an ICON SBC, maximum 87 rated again, but the icons that you get in return on average are much better than the base heroes. If you take a look at some of the icons you can get out of this max 87 base icon pack, which is in the code, and of course, with this being Wednesday and the base hero coming out last Wednesday, we're all expecting it to come out today. But taking a look at all of the different icons that you can get out of this SBC, well, you can get yourself Fernando Torres, who's over 1 million coins, Zola, who is 800k, but as you scroll down, you can see there's so many of them for over 100,000 coins, and really not that many under 100k. You've only got Ian Rush and Clivert, who are under 100,000 coins. So I'm expecting this SBC to probably be somewhere in the 300 to 350k range, given the fact that there's so many more cards that are more expensive than 350k than less expensive than 350k. So I'd set the over-under on the price of this SBC somewhere in that 300 to 400k range, which is going to require a lot of fodder. Now, we've known about this SBC for the last few days, so when we take a look at fodder, it's up. And there's a lot of cards on this market that are up in price in terms of fodder. Like 88 rateds are up 3,000 coins, from 17k to 20,000 coins. The 89's not up a ton, so there might still be some value there. But when you take a look at the inflation of these prices, we'll take a look at Gregor Kobel, for example, right here. He's the cheapest 88 on the market right now. You take a look at his 14-day hourly graph. Over the last few days, going from 17k to over 20,000 coins, it just doesn't make a ton of sense. We haven't had very good SBCs this week. The Raheem Sterling SBC was terrible. The Iwobi SBC was okay, but it's not going to have this kind of impact on the market. So what we're seeing is actually an artificial inflation. These are up in price simply because of investors. So it's very risky to actually hold on to these going into content. Now, I'm not saying don't hold on to them to content, because this Icon SBC could be great value. They could make it 200,000 coins and the entire community goes out and completes this SBC, which would obviously make these cards go up even higher. But in the chance that EA make this squad building challenge for the Icon SBC, 480,000 coins of fodder, well, sure, you might see some people complete it, but the amount of people that are going to be selling fodder would actually be a lot more than the people buying it because of how many people have invested over the last couple of days. So keep that in mind as we go into this day. And there's actually somebody on Twitter who was talking about this meta foot trading. He's saying that current fodder prices are not natural, and that's exactly what I'm relaying to you guys. The recent SBCs haven't been good, so it's going to come out today, but you probably want to sell into the hype rather than wait until we get to division rival rewards later today. That's the idea, because these cards are going to spike at content, and you can see it happen last week on the 9th of October, where these cards spiked up. This Emi Martinez 87 went from about 13,000 coins to 14, but then went all the way down to 12 before recovering. Now, of course, we're going to see division rival rewards later tonight. And so when we get that, you could even buy fodder at that point and let that rise into Friday. So keep that in mind. There's still going to be opportunity to get in on fodder, but if you really want to maximize your profit, you either sell right before or right after the SBC drops, and then you see if maybe the fodder actually comes down because of all of the investors that have got in over the last couple of days. Now, when we take a look at some of these icons again, we'll actually see on the market index, there's some cards that are down in price right now, and they really shouldn't be this far down. You look at the top losers on our graphs, and there's a lot of icons on this list, including the cards that are going to be in packs today. Gattuso, Varane, Larson. A lot of people are panic selling these icons that you see on this list right here because of the SBC, but I don't think it's actually going to have a negative impact on their prices. These cards, like Juan Sebastian Varane, I think will actually rise after this SBC comes out, because we're seeing this card go from 160,000 coins on average all the way down to 140,000 coins, yet the cards that you get out of this Max 87 Icon SBC are untradeable. You can't list them onto the market, so there's not really a huge reason for these cards to go down. And if you already have an 86 Juan Sebastian Varane in your team, and you're expecting to get that exact card back out of the SBC, I mean, don't get me wrong, this might be one of the more packed cards because he's only 86 rated, he's not that expensive, but the odds of you getting the exact card that you already had in your team, that you already went out and sold back untradeable, it's very low. So what you're going to see is a lot of these people go back and buy these cards later in the night, especially after Rivals Rewards. Take a look at this card after Rival Rewards last week. He was about 150, maybe 155K. He dropped all the way down to 130,000 coins at Rival Rewards, and then he spiked back up to 160 right afterwards. So there's going to be an opportunity tonight at some point where this happens again, and I think you guys should be buying a lot of these icon cards during that dip. And to be honest, a lot of that dip is already happening, so keep an eye out over the next few hours. I can't pinpoint exactly when they're going to be at their lowest. I don't know the future, but I do know tonight is going to be a good time to buy these cards at some point. So keep an eye out for those cards. Let's talk about Total Rush now. Total Rush has been dropping in price as well. If you take a look at some of these cards, Marta, big down in price. Williamson, big down in price. And even cards that are in the mid-tier, very, very low. And we're going to expect this on a Wednesday because Wednesday is Market Crash Day. That's quite simply what we should be calling it. So Market Crash Day is upon us, and so these cards are pretty low in price. I don't like them as much out of packs as I did the Road to the Knockout Team 2. They're going to be good for some flips. They're going to be good for some profit, but I don't think that these cards after Friday are really just going to skyrocket in price. I just don't see it happening. I think these cards, as time goes on, actually just drop in price. It's not as convenient of a time as Road to the Knockout was. It's not super early in the game anymore. Although we are less than a month into the release of the game, we know how quickly the power curve changes in FC 25. So I don't think that these are long-term holds by any means. But when you see Leo Williamson, for example, dropping to 42,000 coins, when just a few hours ago this card was 50,000, 53K, and now she is 42,000 coins, there's definitely opportunity to get in tonight on some of the Total Rush cards to flip into Thursday. So I think some of these cards are very, very good to look at. And we also have a leaked team of the week, which is going out of packs today as well. So when I said everything's hitting us at once, of course, Wednesday, we get a new team of the week as well. So let me go ahead and show you guys the cards that are leaked in this team of the week already. And we have cards like Caroline Graham Hansen. So Payor is not going to be getting in. The Barcelona card that we're expecting is Hansen, despite the fact that, of course, Payor and Hansen, could both get in theory. Normally, they don't put two players from the same club in the same team of the week. It's not often that they do that. You have Shaw from Manchester City, Girassi from Dortmund, Trossard, Freegang, Ramirez, Dumfries, Soboslai, Dragusin, and Undav. These are good out-of-pack investments. I think a lot of these cards will go up in price out of packs. If you wanted to hold for, 4, 5, 6 days, that's where you're really going to be making a lot of the profit. And cards like Dragusin, the base card, it's a very low-budget investment, right? But these cards definitely go up out of packs. Right now, he's 900 coins. I don't know if I'd actually spend that much. When I looked, he was like 600. So there's some people getting in already, as you can see. He was like 450, 500. He has spiked because he's going out of packs, but look at this. There are SBCs that make this card spike at random times. As you can see, he went up to 2,000 coins on Wednesday. Last Wednesday, he went up to 2,000 coins, and he stayed up over 1,000 coins pretty much for an entire day, and he stayed near, 700 coins. That's not discard price. So this is a card going out of packs for a week, and this card would spike back up to over 1,000, over 2,000, and possibly over 3,000 if he gets thrown back into some solutions over on the SBC page of Futbin, which is why that spiked in the first place. And now, of course, he's going out of packs, so 900 coins, again, that's kind of expensive at that point. But the idea is there, and you can use that on a couple of these different cards, and I'll let you kind of make your decision on what investments you want to go for out of packs. And a lot of these cards don't rise a ton in the first few hours out of pack, so there's still going to be an opportunity to get in on those as well. Now, when it comes to out-of-pack investing for Division Rival rewards, what I'd be looking at is the Total Rush cards gold version. These cards are going to go up in price a lot out of pack. You've got players like Antoine Griezmann's gold card. Right now, he's 101,000 coins. I told you guys that it was going to be best to invest in him before he went out of packs, which was the case. Of course, he was really low while he was in packs for Division Rival rewards last week, but I told you guys at about 95K, that was going to be the best time to get in, but we would have to wait a few days for him to really spike, and he's still at 100K. He's not up a ton. Take a look at Araujo from last week. This gold card was out of packs because he was in Road to the Knockout team number 2, and this card kind of stayed, relatively the same price throughout the week. He didn't rise a ton. Looks like Griezmann, right? Similar prices as well. And then, during the Division Rival rewards, he skyrocketed all the way up from 98,000 coins to 126K. We invested in 10 of those cards, made 250,000 coins on that move. I'm going to do the exact same this week with possibly Griezmann. You might even look at cards like De Jong's gold card is probably a good one to do that with. You could even do Lauren James. There's so many options, of course, in this team of the week, and even cards like Diogo Dalot. Even cards like Diogo Dalot, who is super low budget, his gold card is probably going to spike during rewards tonight because he's not in packs. He's gone up a lot already out of packs, and he's probably going to go higher. So keep an eye out for that. Those are the best investments for Division Rival rewards. Even though you could flip the Total Rush cards that are in packs, it's really the gold cards that are out of packs that are going to be the best investments. Almost made it through today's video in one take, but I've still got one more thing to talk about. And if you made it this far in the video, don't forget to hit the like button. Let's shoot for 600 likes. I think we could honestly hit it. It's the highest like goal we've set, but 600 likes is the goal for today. And if you made it this far in the video, comment down below how many coins you have in FC25 Ultimate Team. I want to see what kind of budget you're working with, and I'll also respond to a couple of you with the best cards you should invest in tonight with that budget. But Team of the Week 4 is, of course, going out of packs. We talked about Team of the Week 5. We haven't talked about Team of the Week 4. We invested in 25 Kovacic informs for 12,000 coins. He is now 15,250 coins. A nice 3K profit per card. We'll absolutely take that. But I do think there's going to be a window today between content release at 6 p.m. UK and then the Division Rival rewards in the morning, which is like 10 hours after that, where inform cards could go up in price because we're not going to have the Division Rival reward supply of informs, and we're not going to have a ton of supply from content unless people have saved packs for Team of the Week. It's possible some people have, but I don't think it's going to be a lot. And so these cards, if they're required in the ICON SBC a couple times, could go up a little bit higher. Now, last year, the ICON SBC that came out required an 85 and an 86 rated squad. I do not think it's going to be that cheap this year. That was the requirement roughly for the Hero SBC last week. I think that they're going to add maybe a third squad with an 87 rated team required with an inform, something along those lines, to make it cost at least, 250,000 coins, maybe 300K, as we said earlier. So I do think that there's going to be some inform requirements in this SBC. So even though it is still somewhat a risk to hold on to those Mateo Kovacic informs or Lukaku's if you picked him up as well, there is some value in it as well. So there is a window where I think those cards could rise before the Team of the Week 5 cards get really cheap after Division Rival rewards. But that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.